That's it, yep.
Okay.
How brave you feeling? You feeling brave?
Yeah, it's not
You
my
try
car.
it with your eyes shut?
It's not my car.
Very good answer. Correct answer. All right. Okay, so how about this then? We'll get up to 15 miles an hour.
Yeah.
When you start coasting, hands and feet off and shut your eyes.
Okay.
All right? Do make sure it's straight though.
I was going to say.
A lot of them come over there somewhere. Right, accelerate away a little bit then. That's it. Okay, so about there. Hands and feet off, shut your eyes. Oh, what happened there? Did you have your foot on the clutch?
No.
No?
You aiming between the two of them.
It might have been it. That's why we were a little bit to the right of it. So we'll try again, shall we? Stage release here. Good point. That's what we've got too, you see. We can just start again.
It didn't work.
So that's one of the things, when you read the handbook, it talks about,
open.
yeah, it's instructor error, not driver error. when you read the handbook, it talks about certain parameters where it will work for you and certain parameters where it might not. And one of them is that if it's only reading partially reading something like, for example, a motorbike or a pedestrian, then it may well not quite record everything that in terms of the info, because it's, as I say, it's two lasers that's basically bouncing off the obstacle in front. So obviously what's happened there is it's gone and it's kind of misread it and it's thinking, is that there or is it not there? So I don't think I'm gonna react. So we'll do it. We'll get it definitely square on and we'll do it this time. Okay. But I'll do it my commitment anyway. So
Don't shoot me eyes, so I don't have a car thinking.
Yeah,
You're going to kick in. Oh, how far am I?
Exactly. Hence you'll notice why, surprisingly, we don't use real cars for this particular activity. Yeah, exactly. Hello, is that Mazda? Yeah, yeah. How's it going? Well, generally very good. A couple of minor issues that we've got. What again, that really does highlight, and this is on a serious note.
You can't rely on it.
Yeah, going back to your point, is that instinctively, you know, in that real world scenario, you wouldn't be driving, hopefully you wouldn't be driving along with your eyes.
Sure, yeah, no.
We've all had those days, you know, we've all had long days. But basically, you would try to react if you could. That's obviously the human reaction is going to be, let's see if we can stop it. But occasionally there'll be situations where, as I said time again, that it's going to be trying to help you out if you hadn't reacted for whatever reason. And I think that, you know, your point earlier, you're saying about how you know, the system felt like almost it had done something before you did it the other day when it reacted, and that's that pre-arming. So you're probably familiar with some of the technology on the cars, which is called brake assist, where effectively it builds up the brake pressure to the maximum available. This is just in normal everyday braking circumstances, nothing to do with an emergency. So if you for example you came around a corner and you'd maybe misjudged your speed into a roundabout, when you have to brake a lot harder than you originally thought, and it's not sufficient to make the ABS kick in, but it is asking quite a lot of the car. You know, you're kind of close-ish to the limit of what the brakes will do. Then the system will realise that the speed and the pressure of your input is significantly high enough, so it'll build the brake pressure up, maintain that pressure all the time you've got your foot on the brake. So it's giving you the maximum available. That's basically the thinking behind that one. Within that, you've also got other things like brake force distribution, where it'll recognise different grip levels left to right. So if you were, again, say cornering into a roundabout and there's a bit of mud on the road from a tractor on the left and it's nice and dry on the right, and obviously you've got two very different grip levels. In theory, the car could pivot one way or the other. With this, it will work out the amount of traction and grip it's got from side to side and adjust the brake pressure left to right, so it keeps the car as straight as possible. So that works a lot better in that kind of circumstance. So, give it another go. We'll make square this time.
I will. You say.
Yeah, right. So, same sort of speed, about 15 miles an hour. Accelerate away a little bit. Okay, that's good. Now coast it. Did it that time. I'm sitting there thinking, please work. Well done, excellent. Okay. So what we'll do this time is once we'll swoop around the back of this one, then we're going to go up to the where the parking area is and have a go at that. Okay. But it's still, isn't it, one of those things that, especially when we've seen it, you sit there thinking, I'm sure it's going to work. But
it happens a bit later than you.
It does, doesn't it?
Expect,
it's very well. Again, you can see what it's trying to do is it's trying to let you react.
Yeah.
It's saying, look, I don't really want to do anything if I can help it.
Yeah.
But if you really don't do anything, I'm going to step in and try and stop you having an accident. So, You know, when there's also on as an option on the high spec cars is radar cruise control, and it's a different system, but effectively has a similar kind of benefit, but at higher speeds. So let's say you're driving at motorway speed, 70 miles an hour, with the radar cruise on. It's not only will it be trying to monitor the gap to the car in front and make sure that you can maintain a given gap that you're comfortable with, but if that gap suddenly closes quickly and you don't react, same sort of thing, you haven't reacted, then it will apply the brakes, not as violently as we've seen there, because that's to stop you in such a short period of time, but it will apply the brakes firmly enough that it will reduce the speed significantly. So it's trying to give you a bit of help to avoid a kind of motorway bum 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 type accident. But as I say, that's part of the function of the radar cruise. The normal cruise control works as all cruise control systems do, by just obviously keeping your speed constant and allowing for you as a driver to react. If something slows down, then you either switch it off or brake or do whatever you need to do. So these guys, I think, are just about to do the same little parking demo that we just done. Let's let him park that white one in, and then I think by the time he's in there, Gavin in the blue car will be out of the way and we can have a go in there.
And the front sensors are just, you know, your standard, and activate them with the button on the dash down there, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Normal parking sensors, exactly the same distance and parameter as you've got at the rear in terms of where it's reading.
Yeah.
But it's obviously there's not a camera on the front. That's the only significant difference.
Nothing to this one.
Yeah.
You know, in between them again this time.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so as I say, first thing to do is do what you normally would do and just have a little look, see where you're aiming for. You can see whether you've got the lock on there. It's pointing in the opposite direction, so you want to start to point it towards where you want to go, because you want to be over there. But have a look, obviously, to make sure that corresponds with pretty much what you're going to be doing. So you can see that if you start to bring it back on that, you're aiming for that one there.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see if you put a bit more lock on, you're going to start to aim towards it. That's it.
You should,
So
have, you should have a little dip in the middle of that yellow bar, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Which is the centre.
Yep. That's it. So as you're going back, you can start to kind of use the two bits of info, start to take the lock back off again, so you start to square it up a bit. That's it. There you go.
Because something my last car had that this one doesn't is the rear view mirrors dipped,
Yeah.
which is really useful.
Yeah.
It didn't have a camera on it, but it's just for, you know, finding out where you are in the world. You know, it's especially when you're parking, it's really useful. Which is a shame these don't.
Yeah, it's one of those little things. I think they've put other bits and pieces on in sort of lieu of, if you like. But yeah, I agree with you. It's quite a useful thing to have, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it. A bit further back.
So you're saying if I stop there, I'll still have room to
Yeah.
open the boot?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that parameter there
Yeah.
is your basically your boot opening
Right.
aperture, if you like.
Okay.
Cool. Excellent. So right, once you've stopped.
I mean, if you drive into
Yeah.
that cone, Steve, it is quite a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Because obviously it's a fisheye lens, so it's giving you that's why, as I said, the red line is really the back of the car. It doesn't look like it looks like you've got 3 or 4 inches, but in fact that's because obviously it's amplifying everything in a different view to what you'd be used to.
Okay.
Cool. Right, if you just stop there, do a quick swap, and I'll go.
Child seats.
I'm getting fed. I'm not that tall. I'm only 5'8", but my missus is just 5 foot. If I have to move her car, I'm like, you can, because she's just like a typical girl thinks it's way too close and too high, even for the fact she's quite small. And I literally can't get in it. I'm like, gonna have to move the bloody seat. I cannot get in it even to move the seat.
Because with these, you can't program the fobs to individuals. You can do the 1s and 2s.
That's right. Yeah.
Because like I had a Chrysler before, and my key, it was for one setting. My wife's key was for her setting.
That's right. Yeah.
So as soon as you unlocked it, the seat moved to
Seat
you,
moved to what it is,
as opposed to getting in and then pushing the memory.
Pretty hardcore memory this time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got two memories in it.
Yeah. So you can still set it up for Mr. and Mrs. sort of thing, but it's just pressing 1 or 2. Done this before, haven't Excellent.
You see, because the other day I went up to a bush.
Keep it going and see where it taps. Yeah,
There you
see
go.
where the red line is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
so
mean,
you've got a little bit
you
more
do get a little bit of space there.
Well, they're going to always give you a tolerance.
Yeah,
aren't they?
exactly.
Otherwise,
And that's the
you'd
thing
sue
is
them.
yeah, quite. It's basically people are used to technology like yourself. And there's other people who look at it and they don't. Maybe the salesman hasn't explained the lines properly, and they'll assume that one line is closer than the other. Do you see what I mean? That kind of
Have
thing.
another thing.
Yeah, by all means.
See if you do right.
Yeah.
Yeah, preferably not the knocking over bit.
Between them at 50 this time.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so feet off.
No, that was the car.
Okay.
I just had my foot in the
That
clutch.
seemed a bit smoother.
Yeah, I think possibly because where you basically had backed off a little bit
Early.
earlier, it's reacted to it. So we just pop behind the white one if you wouldn't mind, please, chaps.